Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Davin and we are currently playing Blueprints heading into day 27. Day 26 kind of tried to beeline straight for the antechamber. Didn't quite work out as this game tends to do. It throws a stick in your wheel, so to speak. Alright. Oh, it's the first time I noticed birds arriving. So yeah, we're gonna try to go into the house as far as possible. We're still in the hunt for the master bedroom. We're gonna go shelter so that we can avoid some of the red rooms. Negative effects. Because the red rooms have a lot of doors. Maybe that Blackbridge book has the administrator password. That could be a thing. Alright, so we're going to head in here. We're going to go straight up the middle. Already, huh? So looks like we're going to be doing a bit of reading. Because now we're going to have the history of Ordinia, the full version. Ordinia was once named... okay, let's start this on the right foot. Ordinia was once the name used to designate the realms of the eastern waters. Though the term is no longer employed in the halls of politics, nor commonly known to the average citizen, its memory flickers in the hearts of those who hail from the lands that it once encompassed, and many of the elder generation, in hushed circles, still refer to themselves as Ordinians. Yet, we must not let the flame of our history dwindle into the obscurity of whispered conversations, nor permit our leaders to enjoin us to abandon the name of our land. We must keep alive the embers of our past and preserve them for generations yet to come. So, in here, I'm thinking there's going to be maybe some dates, because it says 8 dates crack 8 safes. So there might be some dates in here in the pages that weren't there. So here we go. Ajira. Most historians mark the beginning of the first era, often noted as Ajera, by the ascension of the first king of Ordinia, whose name Oris should later grace the bludgeoning township in which he was crowned. The burgeoning township. Oris was known before his coronation as a prominent merchant lord of considerable means and affluence, whose sway in the region made him the ideal candidate for the unification of the surrounding provinces. Regrettably, history is not always forthcoming, and the surviving records of those bygone days are mostly limited to trade agreements and sales receipts. Nevertheless, we can deduce from these ledgers that Oris had but one aim: expansion. The territory spread forth from the heart of Oris, and by the end of the 1st century, the black banners of Ordinia, Orindia could be seen fluttering in every hamlet and hostelry, along every thoroughfare from Oris all the way to the western banks. A new kingdom was born. It was the 4th king of Orindia who split the vast domain into 3 equal shares, 3 realms for his 3 children. To the eldest he granted the fields and mountains of his great-grandfather, the middle province and heartspring of the kingdom. The eldest accepted the gift and called his new kingdom Orinda Aris, after the angelic paragon of royalty, Orinda. To the youngest he bestowed upon him the realm of Arch Aris, the land of northern storms, a wild and untamed expanse which at the time was not as developed, but a good deal more vast than the elder brother's lot. And to his middle child, his only daughter, he gifted her the southern region of Uraja, a mystical realm of the ancestors, a land steeped in tradition, magic, and poetry of the old tongue. The second era drew to a close. The three sovereign realms had achieved a period of remarkable progress and prosperity. Each of these distinct regions, ruled by their respective sibling monarchs, had blossomed, cultivating the bountiful resources of their lands and developing a unique character and culture that set them apart from one another. Despite those differences, the sibling monarchs managed to maintain friendly relations throughout their lives and were known for their cooperation in matters of trade and transportation. The succeeding generations of their heirs continued that tradition, and the third era was defined by the construction of a vast network of railways that spanned the length and breadth of the land, linking the northern mountains of Arch Aris to the southern shores of Uraja. This development facilitated travel and commerce between the three realms, further strengthening their bonds and laying the foundation for the promise of a prosperous and bright future, a promise that would unfortunately, as my readers will soon find, not be kept. As the kingdom of Orinda Aris entered the fourth era, a different kind of ruler took the reins of power. King Dizile III was a king who listened to the voices of all his subjects, from the most influential advisors to the humblest citizens. He was a king who often was seen among the people eating, drinking, and conversing, a sight that shocked not only the gentry and the court, but the masses as well, who could scarcely believe that they, as peasantry, would ever sup with the crown. Dizile was renowned as the king of the people, and it was therefore a surprise to no one when he made the decision to move the capital from the secluded mountains of Reddington to the public stage of Voris, leaving the castle and court behind. The people were overjoyed by his choice, and the city welcomed their king with open arms and great fanfare. Yet not all were swayed so easily. There were those who viewed the king's conduct as to be unbecoming of his station, and were weary of how readily he would be persuaded by the tears and tales of the common folk. These dissenting voices planted the seeds of discontent which took root in the lawns and gardens of the nobles of Fen, or as I have been instructed to say, the grand city of Fen. The Era of Ruin. After the passing of King Dizile III, the fourth era came to an abrupt end. Thankfully, the king died naturally in his old age and surrounded by his people in Oris, far away from the growing unrest among the western city of Fen. On the very next day, the 6th of October. So that's a date. Let me just take a note here. 6th of October. The self-proclaimed Prince Learson of Fen declared himself the true monarch. This declaration was bolstered by the surprising number of supporters due to the fact that Dizile IV shared his father's good name but little of his virtues. As the prospect of civil war seemed inevitable, the realm's regiments were hastily recalled from the frontiers to stamp out and put an end to the Fensurrection. However, instead of restoring order, what ensued was a savage and merciless campaign against their own people. The gardens of Fen, once a center of splendor, were transformed into a battlefield as the cries of the innocent echoed through the city streets, stained in red. The brutality of the pacification of Fen did not go unnoticed by neighbors. As sympathy for the city surged, allies came forward to lend support. Among them was the general of the Northern Regiment who, sickened by the barbaric actions of the other battalions, joined forces with Prince Learson to form a formidable army. Together they leveraged their political influence and favors and persuaded the nearby realms of Arch Ares and Nuance to join their cause. However, even with the tide turning in their favor, victory did not come easy. The War of the Fifth Era lasted 22 long years, and saw buried 1 in every 3 men. So there's 22-1-3 in that phrase. So let's just take a note of that, just in case. Prince Learson himself added another number to the casualties. However, even in death, he had won. Oris had fallen, and with it the realm. The black flags that had flown for 5 eras were burned, and in their place red banners were hoisted in honor of the fallen of Fen, and few remaining members of the former royal family fled in fear of their lives to the south, forever exiled. The current era. Today, the realm inherited by the 3, Fen, Ares, Arch Ares, and Eraja, once again stand united as allies. Though the distance between our people has grown, our connection to this land remains as strong as ever. The spruce and birch that span across the realms serve as a constant reminder that we all share a common past. And as those trees continue to grow, so do our hopes for the common future. A future where we are not defined by the colors of the banners we raise, but by that which connects us, a land that we call home. For this is, despite everything else, a land rich in history, a land of myth and wonder, a land that sprung forth the greatest empire the world has ever seen, the land of our fathers, of our mothers, and of our children. This land is, after all that has happened, still Orindia. Okay, so let's just go back here. So, let's see. Is there a number code on these pages that I read and did not pick up on? 3 shares, 3 rounds, 3 children, 4th king. So 4333. So is there something here? Senator's name. Zarus was known as coronation, prominent conservative. Nevertheless, can seduce. 4th. One aim. 1, 4. Yeah, maybe I'm also looking too hard into it. 4th of the heart of Horus, and at the end of the 1st century, the banners would be seen floating among the thoroughfares. Yeah, there's not enough numbers there. Okay. So then we have 4333. So we've took that one down. 3rd area. Despite differences in some were known, 16 generations. 3rd area is construction of a royal world. There's no real numbers there. There's not numbers everywhere. But I did see a few numbers, so you could always try that. So it's after every bold word. Was a king who listened to the voices of all his subjects, from the most influential advisors to the humblest citizens. Yeah, that's not really anything. These are names, so... Pleasant Township. Alright. So I can let that sink in while we go to the next room. Take a conference room, so anything that appears within the house will appear here. Which is pretty awesome if you ask me. I take the chapel so we can get some gold right now. Coins too. That opens back into the hall. I take the parlor. Alright, so what do we got here? There are two true statements. The gems are in the box with the false statement. There is only one true statement. So that would be false, that would be false, and that would be true, because there is only one true statement. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to take the hull so we can go further up. Nothing today. Observatory is always good to get some stars or something. What do we got today? Everything is 50% on sale today. See flyer for details. That's funny. Oh, so is this flyer. Oh, nice. Today only. Great deals ahoy. The sale. Everything up to 50% off. Offer valid in the following locations: commissary, kitchen, locksmith, bookshop. Wow. I don't think I ever noticed that. Yep, courtyard. It's always good. Spend 1 gem to get 2 gems. Good chance for the shovel, which we just found. Hopefully we can dig up something sweet. Unlike pebbles. And a key. That's good. Alright, now we are here. Yep, I want to go back up. Something with choices is good. Can always use a key as well. Okay, here we go. Something that lets me get into the foundation. Thank you very much. Oh, they both do. Okay. We're going to take drawing room, though. Okay, now we are into here. I can dig it up, the coin, a coin. Okay, so we'll go back to the hallway. And that's gonna be it for here, so I want to keep my diamonds. Alright, so we're looking at 17, 10 minus 4, 6 minus 2, 4, times 2, 8, divided by 2, 4. Two. So if that's 2 squared, let's try it the right way first. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 2 divided by 1 is 2. Okay. And then we got 12 minus 5 is 7. 12 minus 5 is 7. Times 2 is 14. Divided by 7 is 2. Times 2. 2 squared, which is 4. 2 keys. Okay, so now we either go down to the entrance hall. We can go down from the drawing room. And we can redraw these rooms, like we don't have to take them as is. Yeah, take the den. Yeah, I think I'd rather do that, and then we can come back the other way. I can go do that later. I'm right next to here, so I'm going to waste less steps if I just do this. Okay. Kennel. No item here. Dig spot is a key. Here we get the dark room and the aquarium. or a dead-end bedroom. So we're going to take the aquarium, which counts for every room. Got the compass today. Nothing is buried there. How great. Take the corridor. Sure, the laboratory. It's the same note. Does not appear to be any items. Can prepare an experiment for next time. Whenever you spawn 2 or more gems drafting a room, for each bedroom you draft after your second. Whenever you draft a bedroom after your second, whenever you draft a shop room, permanently add 1 gold to your allowance. So I'm just going to have to drop shops on purpose during the next day. Maybe spend 2 or more gems drafting a room. I almost want to take that instead, because that seems to happen a lot more often. Okay, we'll do it with the shop. You gain 3 gold for each red room in your house. Successful trigger is 0. Okay. So we could do that. And just hold off on that for now. I don't want to spend yet. Let's try one of those codes. So 2, 2, 1, 3. No. Or 4, 3, 3, 3. No. So those 2 codes do not seem to be adequate for that. That's fine. Kind of have to take this. Yeah, we're going to be able to take the steps right now. and I have one access to the antechamber. That's the one that opened up from the greenhouse, and for that I need the broken lever, which I do not have right now. So you're less likely to find items lying around in your house. So why would I want to take that? Seems like I'm going to have to take this, or I can take the wine cellar. The wine cellar. Oh ho. So all I need to get is the greenhouse. And I can get in. The one time I got the greenhouse, it was down there. I don't remember if I had to get in from the front or not. Let's go up here first. Sure. Okay. And greenhouse. Ah, lame. Okay, I still have some options. So what do I want to do with those options? Yeah, it's gonna be that. I don't want to spend any of the gems. Okay. So now we're going back to the beginning. And we're going to try... Alright, foundation here. We can try here, but we should go back to the beginning. That's where we have more chances of getting keys. What a web we weave, eh? Okay, this way. And through the pantry. Courtyard. And the chapel. And the entrance. Perfect. Ballroom. I think that just made me lose a gem. Conservatory. A few steps. In the conservatory, you'll be able to permanently adjust the rarity and rates to determine how often certain floor plans are drawn. Rarity changes can be reset during the directory in this room. Today, you may adjust the rarities of the above floor plans. Okay, wait. and I'll get it more often. Okay. Because, I mean, that will count for a store if I get my stores, right? So we can get a key. Can either get a key or a key, a gem, and so yeah, we're going to take the key, the gem, and the coin. And then we're going to run all the way back. Can stop by the conference room. Just in case there's something I missed, but I don't think so. And then back this way, all the way through to the foundation. Okay. 27 steps left. In the foundation, 1 key, and it's being used right now. This has to be the boiler room so that I can go through it. This will give me another key, and the other one will give me 3 other keys, but I don't really want 3 more keys. I can just use 1. Got a treasure map today. Into a room I believe we do not have and cannot have. Lovely. So this means we officially cannot get the we still have that too. Was that one locked? I don't remember. So since we took it again, we'll be able to get the last drafting strategies or realm and room. Let's take the last drafting strategies. Okay. Yep. Let's give it the old key. Workshop commissaire. Commissaire. Okay. There was nothing good. So now here it's back through this room. All the way to the end. And this way. We're going to gain some steps. We're going to gain more steps. And then we go into here and we find this unlocked door. Oh no, damn it. Oh, and the light didn't go out because Okay, that gives us hope. Oh no. HS requested yet another print of her late ship. I assume for one that her room's in the West Wing, as well as the enlarged print enclosed in the photograph. He said that last development was too dark. She's sitting in the office. Can't really see anything. Of interest in these pictures. See, now it's the people that are that show more, but yeah, there's nothing special. So that's it for today. Man, that's pretty good. So it's the same day. That sucks. I would have hoped for a bit closer. I mean, all I needed was the greenhouse. And then you just strive to find the broken lever. Alright. Well, that looks like that's going to be it for today. Yeah. So, that's the thing. I don't know if I'm on the right path with those dates in the books, in the book that I read, or I don't know if. Anyways, I'll keep looking at that stuff. And yeah, so thanks everyone for watching as usual, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good night.